what have we got here? Let's see. Welcome to First Pitch Live.
What's going on, everybody? Good morning. This is Matt Grissom and Nick Hathcoat. I think this is the first time that just us two have come to the group or represented the group here. First Pitch Live, Smitty and Q both off today, so we're trying to hold it down. But Nick, Super Regional Rounds opened yesterday. A couple shocking results, I think. What stood out to you?
Yeah, I mean, not a ton of drama. Like, especially like you get out of your West Virginia and Troy, the early games, kind of chalk, lived up to what it was supposed to. But then, yeah, USC hitting that grand slam at the bottom of the top of the fifth or sixth, where it seemed like that game was over. Like it just felt like they were cruising for North Carolina. And then, yeah, out of nowhere, he hit a grand slam with 2 outs, and all of a sudden it flips everything on its head. They bring in Edwards. So we'll see how that kind of plans out for the rest of the weekend, considering that they brought in Edwards to close that one out for the last 3 innings. And then, yeah, Ole Miss Auburn was an awesome game last night. I'm glad that's a late game because that was a lot of fun.
Talking about Andrew Johnson.
Andrew Johnson, yeah, not Edwards, obviously.
So
yeah, Andrew Johnson, yeah.
Win probabilities on the site just flipped 64.5% for Southern Cal now. You had, pre-series, Southern Cal was 42.9. Now it's Southern Cal as the favorite, but with the pitching staff. So DeCaro's going today. I think we're all assuming that North Carolina gets this one. I mean, they, like you said, they had them on the ropes. That game felt like it was over. And then a walk batter. McDuffie did struggle, which kind of shocked me.
Yeah.
But you give up the grand slam to Carpentier, and first one of his career. Hats off to him. He did it. They're brewing, man. The Trojans, I told you to look out for them. But you think North Carolina gets right today?
I do. I still think, at least for me, I still think North Carolina comes out of this super. I know it's tough now. They got to win 2 straight. I think DeCaro and whoever they decide to go with tomorrow, whether it's, probably Boaz, who hasn't been great though recently. So we'll see if that's who they decide to go with. But yeah, I don't know. Southern Cal, it felt like, I don't know. Like you tell me though, because you've been hired kind of on the Southern Cal team. The offense for USC has shown up the last month, out of nowhere. Like that was their biggest struggle at the beginning of the season, was they just can't, the pitchers are awesome, they just can't score. But then over the last month, you look at their offensive stats, it's all of a sudden it's this team's hitting, and if they're hitting, they become a top 10, 15 team in the country.
Yeah, I think I saw it against A&M. I was like, wow, this team can really hit. And I don't know if it was just stacking up walks with timely hitting, but you outscored Texas A&M 24-4 or something over bad. 2 games. That's impressive. And I know A&M had been struggling pitching or whatever, but still, I think Southern Cal is kind of being slept on. Plus 260 or whatever they were. That was worth a stab at anyways. And then Ole Miss Auburn last night, kind of surprising that Alvarez got the loss over Hunter Elliott.
Yeah, that was a good game though. That was fun. It just felt like, man, I don't know. Neither team made mistakes. And that's what we talked about this last night. It kind of stinks because it also feels the same way for the Southern Cal North Carolina matchup, where it's these are clearly right now how they're playing. These are 2 of the top 8 teams in the country, and they're facing each other, and one is going to have to knock each other out. So that's what was frustrating last night, and it's going to be the same thing today. But yeah, I think we talked about Petrovic going today against Taylor Rabe. Taylor Rabe has been, you could argue, the best pitcher in the country over the last month. So that's a tough one if you're Auburn.
And then starting bracket 2 play, I believe it will be first thing? Mississippi State, Georgia.
Yep.
And then Oklahoma, Kansas, Oregon, Texas, then St. John's. Did I do that in chronological order?
It's
weird how they started one.
Yeah.
We got one Texas at 10 a.m. and then the other 3 are at night. I don't know why they did that. The GOAT. Hello, good morning, Bucket.
What's up, Bucket?
Hazard said got to go with hot hand USC. I don't hate that. Woke up and hammered a USC future this morning. Nice. Good job.
It's a good Saturday.
All right, so start with the big one, I guess, because this should be like a primetime matchup, Mississippi State, Georgia.
Yeah.
They have played each other now. This will be the 5th time this season. 3-0 for Georgia in Starkville, 1-0 in the SEC tournament. This feels like Wes Johnson's year to do this. It's kind of reminiscent of the 24 Tennessee team. They ran through SEC, won the regular season, ran through the tournament, won the tournament, and then the rest is history. So does Georgia struggle with Valencius, or do you think this is just Georgia's going to show up and they're going to take care of business and get to Omaha?
I think if you're Mississippi State, you have to get this one right. Like with Tito on the mound, you kind of, this has to be the one you steal. Like you're also no Trey Phelps, who I get it. He's one guy in the batting order who is very good defensively, but he also seems like, and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong because I mean I'm familiar with Georgia team, but not like plugged into their clubhouse. But it feels like he's like the heart and soul, where it's almost like he's their energy type of person. So like you don't have him on the field, you don't have him in the dugout. What can they do without him? It'll be interesting because I obviously Georgia's the better team. They've been pitching it better lately. Like obviously Volchko today. We'll see what they do. Tomorrow's the interesting day with them, and I'm sure we'll talk about that tomorrow when we do a show. But the fact that they won't let Big U go past like 2 innings, like what was he was like 2 1/3 last week with like, and Wes Johnson just has him on a very, very short leash. So we'll see what today entails, because if they have to bring in Matt Scott today out of the bullpen, that means they probably will have to give Big U a longer leash tomorrow, or they try to get it done in 2, where it's like Big U, we'll just go Big U with an inning or 2 innings and then go Aoki right afterwards. Yeah, so it'll be this today will tell a lot of what their plans for the weekend are. But I guess my only thought on this game, which I thought it was weird, and I hate unders in Athens, but 13.5, does that not feel like a lot to you?
That does, with 2 decent pitchers.
Yeah.
13.5 is pretty high for an SEC game.
Yeah, that's where I was leaning.
I will say, like, Volchko has been good. If you look at his record, his ERA, it's fine. 10-2, 387, Sierra 340. He's not like a shut him down Friday night starter that your typical SEC pitcher has.
He's a get you through 6 guy. Yeah.
Trey Phelps is your second best hitter on the team outside of Daniel Jackson, who would probably be the best hitter on any team across the country.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a great game. It just depends on how Georgia manages the bullpen, because they could go Volchko, Bird, and then Big U, Aoki tomorrow. If they get game 1, it sets up very nicely for Georgia. If Mississippi State gets game 1, I think it's over in 2.
Yeah, well, that's where I think Georgia is set up for more like a 2-game, 3-game series, and why they've been so good this year. Versus, we'll see what they look like if they get to Omaha. Obviously, this is very foreshadowing, and we don't know for sure. But when they have to play like the 4 to 5 games in that kind of 5-day span, and they only have 7 arms they trust, like that's kind of when things get iffy for them. But yeah, like they're set up nice.
They're going to have to go from the winner's bracket. Like they're not a loser's bracket team.
And they're going to have to trust Aoki to throw 100 pitches every other day. It's just like, we're going to screw your right arm. It's falling off if we have anything to say about it.
All right. I'm interested to get your thoughts on this one. The Lawrence Super Regional, two teams that I don't think everybody would have thought would be playing in this regional. I think a lot of us would still be thinking Georgia Tech was going to be playing baseball at this point of the season, but nonetheless, it's a big weekend for Lawrence. It's a big weekend for Kansas and Oklahoma renewing this little Big 12 rivalry. Who do you have and why? As Bucket says, we'll put a bow on this. What was official prediction for Georgia? I have a lot on Georgia futures, so I don't want Mississippi State to win. But if Mississippi State takes game 1, I think it's over in 2.
I'm probably going game 1. I need to try to play this now. I'm probably going game 1. It also helps that it's 11 a.m. local time, like for the under 13.5. I just don't. I obviously haven't checked the wind yet, but yeah, 13.5 just seems like Valencius versus Volchko, and you're giving me 13.5 with no Trey Phelps. I know
with the wind blowing in.
Wind blowing in? Okay, yeah, okay. This is one I'm adding right now then. Yeah, 13.5 seems crazy.
Joe bet it fast enough.
I know. Well, I know. Well, I also have to be able to add it to our site, which I probably won't have time to do by the time the show comes out, like the show's done. But yeah, to move on to Oklahoma, Kansas, this is one where I have not touched anything about this. No futures, no game, no nothing. I don't know how this goes. This is a weird one. I like Kansas at home just because, like, the Hog, like, obviously it showed up last week and it made a difference. Like, whether people liked it or not, it was rough, it was ugly at times, but that was a home field advantage you don't often see.
However, it was Oklahoma, so rowdy.
Yeah, Oklahoma though, it's like their problem. They were the 14th best offense in the SEC this year, and then all of a sudden they go to Georgia Tech and it's like you can't get them out. It wasn't even like Georgia Tech was like walking a lot of guys or hitting a lot of hitters. It was just like Oklahoma was swinging it and all was fine. So it's like if Oklahoma's offense shows up with the pitching staff they have, this makes it very tough, and this is absolutely untouchable for me though from any side.
It's like getting this for the first time because the site just refreshed with all the latest results. So now make College World Series final is Georgia Ole Miss. How awesome would that be?
So it switched, yeah. Because I was on Jeff's show. I was talking about that.
Yeah, I mean it
was Georgia Auburn. It was Georgia Auburn.
Yeah, it liked Ole Miss Auburn. Yeah. Like whoever. Yeah. And no, I didn't rig anything to like make it pro SEC. The numbers are the numbers. It just likes it. Pitching staffs are deeper. Kind of saw that the ACC may be a little fugazi.
Fraudulent. Yeah.
Georgia Tech going down, but yeah, that would be insane. I've been hitting Ole Miss like they were 30-1, 28-1, 20-1. They were 20-1 yesterday morning. I went on VSiN and was like, that doesn't make sense because they were what, plus 150 to win the regional or the super regional?
Or super regional, yeah.
And so Auburn was plus 550 to win it all, but Ole Miss was plus 2,000. That math wasn't mathing. Anyways, Oregon, Texas. I think we're opposite on this because you are higher on Texas. Something about this Ole Miss team. This Oregon team. I feel like it sets up very similarly to USC and North Carolina, where these two teams are kind of mirrored images of each other. One is going to look dominant early, and then it's going to get to the bullpen, and I think Oregon's going to be able to score some runs and look up and be like, hey, wait, we have a chance to win this game. I don't know why. I think it's Texas's offensive struggles, but what do you make of this game, and how do you think it goes?
Yeah, I mean, what Texas offensive struggles are you talking about recently? Because they haven't really had any. This is like, if you look back to the middle of the season, yes, they went through a lull where they really did struggle. And I don't know. There's something like, it seems like they're all clicking right now, and I guess you could say like, okay, it's the top of the order carries them, which it does, which is fine. Like, but it's also how, like you're talking about Aiden Robbins hitting 4 home runs last week, and talking about Anthony Pack Jr. hitting 5 home runs last week. Tinney just seems to show up in the big situations. And I think the bigger picture is Oregon's offense, like it was supposed to be kind of be the story, but Oregon's offense struggled last week. And I get it, like people are like, okay, well, Oregon State's pitching staff, but it was like they struggled through that entire regional. And even Oregon State, like once Oregon State was out of pitchers, it was like, okay, we'll just win this game like 5-1. And it's like it seems very soft. And that was in a hitter's ballpark in Oregon. And now you're going to Texas in Austin, where it's obviously clearly a pitcher's ballpark. And they haven't seen a pitching staff like Texas. I get they faced USC, and they took what, 2 out of 3 against USC, I believe, right? I think is what it was in Oregon. because I think that was USC's one Q1 win.
They swept, or they beat Nebraska 8-0.
Oof. Yeah, this feels like
I just saw Nebraska not be what they were.
I think they're going to see Volantis today and just be like, who is this alien on the mound? That we haven't seen anybody like him all season. So I just can't imagine that they put up a lot of runs today. And I think I actually am trusting this Texas offense and what they've kind of turned into. Whether it is just time, even if it's just timely hitting, I think that's what they're doing. But they're also very mature, look at bats and everything. So I actually really like this Texas team, and honestly, I'd be shocked if they don't win it all at this point with the teams that are left.
Is it Volantis? Confirmed?
Not confirmed, but that's what I'm assuming.
St. John,
because he was last Saturday. Yeah, he threw game 2 last week.
Alabama. Anything in this? This should be another replication of Cal Poly West Virginia yesterday morning.
Yeah. No, Tyler Fay should dominate. I think the only thing to talk about here is like St. John's. It's not much to talk about this weekend, but it was more of last weekend. No team who wins the Big East should ever be a 4 seed. Like, I don't care if it's Creighton, Xavier, UConn. Everybody knows the team that comes out of the Northeast. Morning. Okay.
Good evening. Yeah. Depending on what time you woke up.
Yeah. No, but it's just one of those things. Like, no team from the Big East who wins it should ever be a 4 seed. And I know their RPI wasn't great, but it's because they have to play like these in the Northeast. You kind of get screwed by your midweek games, and it's gonna mess up your entire RPI. But yeah, like any team who wins the Big East, we've seen it in the past, should never be a 4 seed. And that's kind of where Florida State got screwed, but they're rolling right now. St. John's is good. Are they Tyler Fay good, and can they beat Alabama at home at night? I don't think so.
Let's go back to this because I think there's a really good pitching matchup between Vagley and Rager, who has kind of bounced around all. I feel like Oklahoma did this last year too, where they thought they had like their game 1, game 2 starter, and then the game 3 starter ended up being the guy late in the season. He's kind of been a true ace all season long. And I think Oklahoma and Kansas are 2 more of those teams where they're kind of spitting images of each other. And they neither pitching staff is going to like completely dominate you, but it seems like when the pitching is struggling, that's when the offense picks it up, and then vice versa. Sight likes Kansas by 61% win probability, which is 156. So it's basically the same as the odds. Would you want to play anything in this one with Oklahoma and maybe the run line?
I think, yeah, if I was playing anything, I think it would be an Oklahoma run line, especially because you got to think if they kind of do what they did last week too, where like Xander Mercurius has been like awesome out of the bullpen. I have to assume that's who they piggyback off the Cord Rager with, and unless they're trying to start him though, because they've started him. I think he started in the SEC tourney, if I'm not mistaken, and it started last week. So unless they're trying to start him, they might save him, but I don't know. I feel like it's one of those where it's another one like that we talked about, where it's like if you have a lead, you use your arms. And yeah, I think this stays. Because I also think it's low scoring. Maybe, I don't know, because this Oklahoma offense has been crazy. Yeah. We've also seen what the Kansas offense can do, especially at home. So yeah, if I was playing, I'm not touching this one, but if I was playing anything, it would have to be a run line with Oklahoma. 2000, I love it.
I said it earlier. I don't know if you were here, Zach. That was the only one that didn't make sense to me because they were plus 155 to win the Super Regional. I'm going to keep saying that until we get to the College World Series. But it didn't make sense. Plus 155 to win the regional, but you are plus 2,000 to win it all. When if you look at that side of the bracket, it just is set up so nicely. All right, so yeah, you were right. Xander did start last weekend against Georgia Tech. 5 earned runs, 8 strikeouts though. So
that's a good day against Georgia Tech.
Yeah, there's so much information on these super regional pages. If you've not subscribed, it's $20 the rest of the postseason. It's going to continue to get more and more in depth as we go along for each of the teams and the pitching profiles that are coming up for the College World Series. You guys are going to love them. You'll be able to beat ESPN on what their 4-pitch mix is and how fast their fastball is and all that stuff. So it's going to be pretty sick. And with that, Nick, we're 15 minutes out from game start time.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is a Saturday morning in college football season. We're getting ready. It's game day going on. Where are your eyes going to be today?
Two plays we haven't really talked about. I have West Virginia's team total over. I think they kind of showed they're just kind of on a train right now, heading straight to Omaha. Without Griffin Ness, especially, 6.5 runs seems way too low. So, that's one I'm on. And then also, I think Troy's kind of the same way. I know Q wanted to play it. I did play it. I know Q's on the full game over, I think, of 10. I'm on the Troy team total over 6.5. I think I don't even want to leave. I don't want to even put Little Rock into it. I just think Troy, it's another thing where they should end up in double digits again. Something clicked weirdly in that Ryder game in Gainesville, where it's like they were struggling offensively, and then ever since then they've just been on a warpath. Whether against Miami, against Florida twice, the offense is just rolling right now. So 6.5 runs seems like a steal. So that's kind of the two other plays I don't play, but yeah, like people heard, I just played it. Mississippi State, Georgia under 13.5 minus 110. Go play it now. You got 13 minutes. DK has the best number.
First 5
just seems crazy.
First 5 innings, Mississippi State's plus 105. Team total runs for Georgia first 5 is 3.5. Hang on.
I also have no run. I also have 2 no-run first inning bets if we want to give those out. I mean, I have no run first inning in USC, North Carolina, plus 125. I think that's a silly number. And then I also have Oregon, Texas. We're going to rely on. We talked about the arms. We're going to rely on these 2 starting pitchers. Oregon, Texas, no run first inning is plus 115. So that's 2 others that I am on today that I like.
I'm looking up real quick to see who Mississippi State threw on what day when they played Georgia, to see if they got to Blankets at all. I think that was the 3-1 game.
McPherson was hurt by then, so he wouldn't have gone.
Okay, it was game 2. It was Vigu versus Valencius. Valencius went 7 1/3, had 10 strikeouts, and gave up 2 earned runs.
Oh, so he kind
of dominated Georgia.
Yeah.
That game was 3-1 final. It was 1-0 through 6 innings, and then Georgia tied it up in the 7th. And then Ben Davis came in.
Yeah, that was also when Mississippi State was really struggling, because that was, I believe, that wasn't the weekend after Tennessee also swept them at home, or maybe that was the weekend before, because it was 6 straight at home that they lost. So they were kind of struggling then too, and so
yeah.
I don't know. It's
right after that.
Okay, after. These are 2 of the top 10 teams in the country. We've said it. I'll say it. It stinks they're playing each other, because they both deserve to be in Omaha, and I kind of wish they were both in Omaha. As just from a fan standpoint, I want these 2 fan bases both there. So it does stink. But man, yeah. What's the first? You said the first.
First 5 innings, the Mississippi State's plus 105.
Plus 105. I also played the total. Remember the 13.
Bucket said, "Man, y'all are scaring me." Okay, so here's what I'm doing, Bucket. Is I have Georgia exposure. I don't really have anything on Mississippi State, so it does worry me. I try not to get blinded by, I think my future is in good shape because of the price it is now, because I don't think these odds makers know anything. Ole Miss literally went from plus 2,000 to 16-1 after they hit the home run last night. That's one result in one inning in one game of a 3-game series, and they shifted the odds that much. That is insane. But they don't know what they're doing. North Carolina shouldn't have been the short shot. I think we all know that. It took them losing to USC to get back to what, third now, probably where they should have been.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm getting at, Bucket, is I'm already exposed with Georgia. I also think Mississippi State could very well win this game, if not just play close and cover 1.5, especially without Trey Phelps. So I'm trying to be smart and talk through with Nick what the plan is. What I think I would rather have Mississippi State first 5 plus 105 than just try to get plus 1.5 and lay juice. Don't you agree? Because if Mississippi State's going to cover 1.5, that means Valencia is dominated.
Correct.
And it stayed low scoring.
Correct.
Okay. I just needed to talk through that real quick.
Yeah.
Mississippi
I would
State,
also is there a first? So, like, remember, I took the full game under 13.5. I was trying to look up and see what a first 5 under, because I almost wish I actually almost like that more.
Yeah, I don't see it on mine.
I know I don't. I have like Georgia team total first 5, Mississippi State team total first 5. I don't see like an actual, because the first 5 under might be. I would almost like that more.
Usually it's not till Omaha we get like all those.
Really there it is. 6.5
props.
First 5 under 6.5. I don't hate that, people. Bet 365.
I don't have that.
I don't hate that. Under 6.5 in the first 5 innings. I kind of like that a lot, actually.
We did kill it on the strikeout props. I had Chance and Cole over 6 strikeouts yesterday. I love that they put this stuff up.
Yeah. See, I can't even. So in Tennessee,
it doesn't have any today.
Yeah.
There's no player.
Yeah. There's no player props whatsoever in Tennessee, like at all. So I can't even whether it's college football, college basketball, anything like. They don't even put them in the book where we can see them. So I can't even see like strikeout props and stuff like that. Because that's where they draw the line out of everything. It's like, no, you can bet as much as you want on these college kids, but how dare you use their name?
Yeah. First 5 innings / money line. What is that? Why is West Virginia minus 180?
Because it's like parlaying it. So it's like they would have
parlaying that West Virginia is going to be up after the first 5 and win the game.
Correct, but also a tie means you lose. Yeah.
Wow. Juicy at minus 180, but you get what I'm putting up. But I will say Cal Poly, if they didn't have bulletin board material, they do now after West Virginia Athletics officially tweeted 1 game away from Omaha. Go ahead and start booking.
Yeah, that was.
Did you see that?
Yeah, dude.
The amount of people that were like, "What are y'all doing? Delete this."
That was very stupid. Yeah, if I was Saban's, I would be very upset. I would be like, "Who decided that this was a good idea to tweet? Like, what are you doing?"
Yeah, you can't do that.
You cannot do that.
I gotta find it real quick. For anybody that hasn't seen it, I think it was West Virginia Sports that tweeted it.
Yeah, now it was their main account. Yeah.
Yeah. Here it is.
Stupid.
Dadgummit. It's not gonna let me do it. They have interns making the lines sometimes. All right. Well, 5 minutes out now. All 280 of you with this. Thank you for tuning in this morning. I hope you can use it, make some money. Again, if you haven't gone and checked out all the Super Regional, talking before you've won anything. Remember last year, North Carolina won the first game over Arizona in dominant fashion.
Yeah, what? Yeah, the one that was like 24-2 or something.
Yeah, it was absolutely ridiculous, and then they dropped the next 2. What just happened? But it happens more than you think. I don't think Cal Poly is going to be able to turn it on, though. I think West Virginia is just absolute force right now. Yeah. I don't know if they can win it all, but it's good for the Big 12 that we potentially have 2 Big 12 schools in Omaha.
Good for not just the Big 12, good for the country, I think. I mean, you're talking about we're probably not getting. Chances are we're not getting a Big 10 team. Chances are we might get.
UCLA was already there. UCLA is not already in Omaha.
Yeah, best team in the country. Chances are we're probably getting one ACC team, maybe. But even that one ACC team is now losing. So you're talking about either we either get one Big 10 or one ACC because they'll knock the other out. Everything else is SEC and then probably two mid-majors. So, or one mid-major because obviously Troy's coming. So, yeah, it just good for the country, parity. But yeah, imagine not having an ACC team. The equivalent.
I think we're going to get a Big 10 school in. The problem is if we get a Big 10 school in, that means there's not an ACC school.
No ACC, yeah.
That would be crazy. Wow.
And then SEC is getting good thing. I have that play in my pocket of the over 3.5 SEC teams in Omaha that MGM gave out yesterday or last week. So that's a good one. I do hate that 4 of the 7 are playing each other because that part sucks, but should still be in good hands.
All right, guys, go enjoy the Georgia-Mississippi State game. Take that Mississippi State plus 105 to be leading through the first 5. Valencia is shoved in their last matchup. Let's have a great baseball weekend. RBI, RPI. Yeah, go Dogs. I hope I'm holding on to my Georgia Bulldogs tickets. I need them to meet either Ole Miss or Auburn in the championship final, and we will be celebrating hard in Omaha. Regardless, we'll be there. Let's have some fun. Y'all enjoy the games.